Oh, how's it going, everybody? And we're back for another edition of All In, where I'll pick a rock artist and I'll listen to the entire discography and give my thoughts on it. So, the rules kind of go like this. The band in question must have 5 or more original studio albums. Cover albums can count, and I generally don't talk about live or acoustic albums unless the songs are in that original form. So, here we go. This week, we're going to talk about Lacuna Coil. That's right. Now, I don't have any physical copies of any of their albums. I mainly was listening to them, like the earlier ones from GMC. He really got me into them. So, yeah, Lacuna Coil, they're this Italian symphonic metal band with a chick lead singer. Real cool band. And I feel like they don't get, like, enough, credit? Because I've never ever heard them on regular radio. I guess my first time ever hearing Lacuna Coil was even before GMC got into them. You guys remember when DirecTV had like music channels or really digital cable or anything like that? Yes, I used to listen to Music Choice Metal on DirecTV when I was like in my very early 20s, and I remember hearing the song "Swamped." That was like the first song of theirs I ever heard, probably around 2002, 2003-ish. And then I heard of them whenever they got into the one lineup for Ozfest one year. So, but then they never really got any mainstream exposure, at least here in the States anyway. And yeah, they do speak a little bit of Italian, but it's mostly in English, but real good stuff. If you love symphonic metal, I definitely recommend this band. So, they've been around since the mid-90s, and they didn't really make it big until Come Alive, which then that's when we here in the States got exposed to them. So they have a total of 10 studio albums, spanning from 1999's In a Reverie all the way to Sleepless Empire from literally 2 months ago when this released. So yeah, they've been around a long time, so I guess we'll get started here. So, In a Reverie, so we start off with a song, well actually, we gotta go back further than that. So they had an EP right before this, so 1998, they released the self-titled Lacuna Coil EP. So here we start off with No Need to Explain, The Secret, This Is My Dream, Soul into Hades, Falling, and this must be an Italian song, Un Fantasma Tra Noi. And it's not really as heavy as like the later Lacuna Coil. I guess they were just kind of sort of experimenting. But I mean, not a bad way to start. So now we'll back to In a Reverie. So this album dropped in 1999. And we didn't get it in the States till like a little bit later after Come Alive took off. So here in this track listing we start off with Circle, real good way to start off. Stately Lover, Honeymoon Suite, love that song. My Wings, To Myself I Turned, Cold, Reverie, Veins of Glass, good one there, and Falling Again. Yeah, I feel like they didn't get enough exposure yet with this. But then we move on. We have another EP called Half-Life. This dropped in 2000, the very next year. So what we have here is, of course, the title track to it. You got Trans Awake, Sensifine, original version. You got Hyperfest, and then you have Stars, which is a Dubstar cover. I never heard of Dubstar. I guess they're kind of like they're like an indie dance band over in England. So then we move on to 2001's Unleashed Memories. So yeah, they were pretty busy their first half of the decade. So Unleashed Memories, that released, like I said, 2001. You have Air of a Dying Day, To Live Is to Hide, Purify. We got another version of Sensifine. We have When a Dead Man Walks. We got 1.19. I love that one. Cold Heritage, Distant Sun, A Current Obsession, Wave of Anguish, and if you got the bonus, you got Lost Lullaby, which that was in the 2005 reissue. And I feel like they're one of those bands that they kind of got better with every album within their first, I would say, decade. I like this a little better than the last one, honestly. So then we move on to, I would say, their breakout album, at least here in the States, Come Alive. This is the album I think put them on the map. So, and this is also the first time they ever had a couple singles. So we start off with the song Swamped, which is the very first song I ever heard from them. And I loved it when I first heard it. You have Heaven's a Lie, another good one. Daylight Dancer, Humane, Self-Deception, Aeon, I guess that's how you say it. You got Tightrope, The Ghost Woman and the Hunter, Unspoken, Entwine, The Prophet Said, that's another good one. Angel's Punishment, and Come Alive. And yeah, I mean, so far, I would say this is their best album and most successful commercially. But despite it never being really played on the radio. And so for their 20th anniversary edition, they did Come Alive XX, which they released that version of it in 2022, where like if you download Come Alive XX, you get the original Come Alive album with it. But all it is really is like re-recordings, and usually I'm not a big fan of re-recordings, but they kind of mixed it up in such a way that, you know, it was cool to hear the different versions of the songs. Like, if you listen to the newer version of Swamped, it's almost like the vocals are a lot more heavier, a lot more aggressive. But, you know, definitely worth checking out. So then, moving on, we have 2006's Karma Code. And this is where they started getting exposure on, like, Sirius and XM and them places. At that point, I don't believe they were on regular radio. If they were, I never heard them on regular radio. But yeah, like, Sirius Octane started playing them in rotation by this album. So we start off with The Fragile, real good song. We got To the Edge, Our Truth. We got a real, kind of like a ballad type song, Within Me. You got Devoted, You Create, What I See, Fragments of Filth, Closer, not a Nine Inch Nails cover, Invisible Light. You got The Game, not a Disturbed cover. You got Without Fear, and here they end it with Enjoy the Silence. So they were covering Depeche Mode in that one. Damn good cover. And they actually charted 4 singles in this. So yeah, I would say they got a little bit more, I'm not going to say mainstream successful, but this is like the most exposure they've had, at least here in the States. So, moving on, still in the 2000s, we got 2009's Shadow Life. Now this is where I haven't really heard their albums yet. Like I was usually stuck to those first 4 that GMC had. So here we have Survive, I Won't Tell You, Not Enough, I'm Not Afraid, I Like It, Underdog, The Pain, Spellbound, Wide Awake, The Maze, Unchained, and Shallow Life. And if you got the bonus track, you got Oblivion. And, you know, all in all, not really a bad album, but I don't know, maybe it's one of those I gotta listen to it a few more times to really like it. I didn't like it as much as the first 4 so far. So then we go to the turn of the decade. We're in the 2010s now. So here we have one called Dark Adrenaline, released in 2012. And yeah, my fiance actually had this album, but she said that she really didn't like it, didn't listen to it much, but I beg to differ. So here we have Trip to Darkness, Against You, Kill the Light, Give Me Something More, Upside Down, End of Time, I Don't Believe in Tomorrow, Intoxicated, The Army Inside, and they did a cover of Losing My Religion by R.E.M., and then they did a song called Fire, not a Jimi Hendrix cover, or whoever originally did that. You have My Spirit, and then if you go bonus tracks, you get Dark Adrenaline and Soul Inmate. And I feel like the best song out of this album has to be Fire. Okay, so now we're at 2014. We have Broken Crown Halo. And so here we have Nothing Stands in Our Way, Zombies, Hostage to the Light, Victims, Die and Rise, I Forgive But I Won't Forget Your Name, Cybersleep, Infection, I Burn in You, and The End I Feel Alive, One Cold Day, which is dedicated to a deceased ex-band member. And yeah, all in all, I feel like they kept the heaviness in this one. I mean, nothing that's like popular, but it's a pretty good sounding album. So then, 2016, we have Delirium. Yes, they stayed busy in the 2010s. So here we have the House of Shame, Broken Things, the title track Delirium. I love that track. Blood, Tears, and Dust, Downfall, Take Me Home, You Love Me Cause I Hate You, The Ghost in the Mist, My Demons, Catastrophia, and I think it's a Catastrophobia. You have Ultima Ratio, I believe. Then if you go bonus tracks, you have Live to Tell, which was originally Madonna. You got Breakdown and Bleed the Pain. You know, and here again, like the last album, like Broken Crown Halo, Delirium, I would say it almost feels like a continuation. So then, still in the 2010s and 2019, we get Black Emina. So, here we get Emina Nera, Sword of Anger, Reckless, Layers of Time, Apocalypse, Now or Never, Under the Surface, Venicium, I think that's how you say it. Beneficium, that's it. I can't fucking read it. Then you got The End Is All I Can See, Save Me, Black Emina, and then you go bonus tracks, Black Feathers, Through the Flames, Black Dried Up Heart. And yeah, they really got heavier in this one. And then you got the single Layers of Time, really good track. So then, yeah, I already mentioned Cumalize 20, Double X, however you say it. And then, so literally, released this year on Valentine's Day, we get Sleepless Empire, released in 2025. So this year as it's getting taped. And they actually kept it short and sweet, this album. So here we have The Stage, Oxygen, Scarecrow, Gravity, I Wish You Were Dead, and hosting the Hollow, which they have the lead singer of Lamb of God in this. Really heavy track, love it. You got In Nomine Patris, Sleepless Empire, title track, Sleep Paralysis, I think that's how you say it. Then we have In the Meantime, featuring Ash Costello of New Year's Day, and we end it with Never Dawn. So, as far as Lacuna Coil goes, damn good band. I mean, if you want like a less popular band that's real good, you know, sort of hard but instrumental, and you like chick vocalists, yeah, this is it. So, I feel like there's one more thing left to do here. Yeah, that's right, we gotta rank them. So, how do I want to do this? So we got 10 total albums, as I said earlier. If I can get back to it here. Yeah, so 10 total albums. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split this right down the middle. So we're going to do Lacuna Coil, 90s and 2000s Lacuna Coil. And then we'll do 2010s to now, as far as the rankings. So let's see. Early half of Lacuna Coil. I'm gonna say their breakout album, Come Alive. I like that one the best. And the song Swamped, damn good song. Heaven's Lie, another good one from that. Great album all around. I mean, even the re-recording of it was pretty good. Even though I'm not a fan of re-recordings, but yeah, that's definitely recommend that album for sure. As far as my least favorite in the 2000s, I'm gonna say Shallow Life. I mean, maybe I didn't listen to it enough. I'll have to listen to it more to maybe get a more opinion on it. But for right now, that's my least favorite. Not that I hate it or anything. I don't hate it. So as far as 2010s to now, what's my favorite? I'm gonna say Dark Adrenaline. I mean, they definitely kept it hard. The music, that is. But yeah, I liked about every track on that album. It's kind of funny how my fiance bought the album and she didn't like it, and I ended up liking it. So yeah, that one's definitely on top for that era. As far as the least favorite, I don't know. I don't know, probably Black Enema, but I don't really hate it either. Although Sleepless Empire, I thought it was pretty damn good. I mean, I almost rank it right behind Dark Adrenaline. So yeah, they're still out there. They're still touring, still recording. Maybe we'll see more material from them in the future. I don't know. And of course, you got the two EPs, Lacuna Coil and Half-Life, which I forgot to mention that it was the Unleashed Memories album. The copy that GMC had, it was actually Unleashed Memories with Half-Life on the back of it. So it actually, depending on what version of Unleashed Memories you got, you also got the Half-Life EP with it. And that's how I got to hear that EP. But yeah, Lacuna Coil, damn good band, definitely recommend them. So, what will we do next time? It's going to be something rather unusual, that's for sure. But stay tuned, see what it is.